Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-January 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you beautiful people out there. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Leos. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for Leo here in mid-January? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Leo in mid-January. My gods, talk to me. What's happening with my friends here? What is going on? There we go. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, very etheric. Big water sign type of energy that I often see with water signs because it is super etheric, very much thought-based. We also have the concept of time showing up here. So I would say out of this whole oracle deck, this is one of the more complex ones, very much mentally focused here, Leo. So there could be someone with a lot on their mind. That's one message. But there's a lot for us to really pull apart here. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little more about this card. So if you look dead center, right smack in the middle, we have this lady. It looks like she's meditating or doing some yoga or something like that. She's obviously not awake. So when I see this, of course, it could be linked to sleep and rest. For some of you, you might need a little more rest and sleep. You could be having some funky dreams whenever this card shows up. But once again, this is one I often see for water signs. So maybe you're connected with a water sign that's up in their head, up in their feelings. That could be a big possibility when this card is here. The good thing about this card is that it's very imaginative. So for a lot of you, any sort of creative or imaginative undertakings could be highly favored in this time. But at the same time, this card could be someone whose mind is running away with them. So for a portion of you, if you're overthinking, maybe it is connected to sleep for some of you. If you're not having funky dreams, it could be a lot of overthinking, and you could need some sort of outlet for all of this mental activity. Another thing, the fact that there's a clock and all the numbers are flying off, it does speak about the construct of time. And I'm sure you've all heard it, like, yeah, time is an illusion, and we all experience it in a different way. But to me, this is a card of spirit saying, like, listen, don't let time get away from you. So some of you might need to hear that. Don't waste time, or don't let time get away from you. We're just going to leave that over there. Let's get into tarot now. And I would say this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. So let's see what's happening for these lovely Leos and guides. And while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. Last week's reading did seem a little niche, okay? It was titled An Unexpected Block. So for some of you, whether it's a hurdle, whether it's a literal blockage in communication, or just something getting in your way, I did pick that up, that something could pop up like out of nowhere that like impedes your progress. So keep that in mind. Energy, it could still bleed over into the coming days and weeks. Could be some issues, but there's been some choppiness like in recent weeks for your reading. So we're going to hope that that moves on out, right? Let's get you 3 here. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take the reading how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards for Leo. Thank you. All right, so we are into the realm of communication, talking, messages. We got the Page of Pentacles. Could be learning some new things. I like this card. It's a good way to start. Let's get a couple more. All right. For those of you new here, I only read jumpers. That's why I do these little shuffles. Okay, we do have the Hanged Man in position number 2, watching, strategizing, planning, all sorts of things with this card. Lots of earthy, planted type of energy we're picking up. So hopefully there's nothing frustrating you. Okay, it could be good for stability, but at the same time, there could be a little frustration because I'm a fire sign myself, so I know, like, we like progress. We like movement. We have the Hermit on the back end. So to me, all very, very earthy energy. Tons of Virgo showing up here. So let's go through I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I could say every single card out here could connect with the zodiac sign of Virgo. So I don't know if you have placements there or these are Virgos in your life. We have the Page of Pentacles, earthy. We have the Hermit, Virgo card, earthy. We have the Hanged Man, very earthy, but it also has Scorpio aspects as well. So some of that water sign energy. People always split this between Scorpio and Virgo, okay? So as you can see, all earth, so that could be a huge focus on the material. You might be in business mode, you might be in money mode, focused on that, focused on things like work, the home, the family. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this story out, because there's a lot of aspects here. Could be multiple different stories that we're picking up, so only take what vibes with you, obviously. Position number 1. Page of Pentacles. So I always say with every single page, they're all students, they're all messengers. This one represents all earth signs. So once again, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, could be any of those. This could represent a child or someone that's younger than another. So pages are usually linked with new, whether it's new endeavors, new cycles, new journeys. It's a very fresh type of energy, but this one is more of the written message. So we could be talking about letters, we could be talking about emails and text messages, things that come through in the written word. It could also be conversation. So when we see this page, maybe there's something you're wanting to learn. This is a card of students. Maybe you're training for something or learning something new. If not, this could be a talk of some kind, and we'll see what flavor when we get the clarifier for it. Okay, so whether it's a positive talk or good news coming in, we'll see when we get to it. Now, moving to the center, this is where the energy is just super firm here. Okay, so for some of you, whether this is someone or something that you've been dealing with for a very long time, or this is energy that is super ingrained here. So whether it's your day-to-day life or you take it however it hits. Position number 2, we have the Hanged Man. Once again, could connect to Virgo, could connect to Scorpio. When I see this card, this is a withdrawn, pulled back type of energy. Not a lot of action here with this card when we initially look at it. Now remember, we still need to see the clarifier for it. But when I see this, I think of someone either strategizing, planning, or observing, watching. Okay, that's what the Hanged Man is doing. It's analytical, analyzing something. And I saw a similar thing in the Aries reading as well. Lots of earth, and then that analytical, plan-based type of energy is showing up for you as well. Another aspect of this Hanged Man, aside from that, aside from the non-movement of this card as well, it's a card of self-sacrifice. So this often comes up for somebody that puts the well-being of others ahead of themselves, right? People that take one for the team. Right? That, you know what, as long as they're happy, I'm happy. That's the type of vibe we think of with the Hanged Man. So, interesting. We'll see how that all plays in, and very sturdy, immovable type of energy. Now, as we get the Hanged Man back in place and we move to the back end, we have the Hermit. So this one is also grounded, sturdy, whereas this one's not moving. This one is withdrawing. So whenever I see this, if you're not linked to Virgo, if you don't have Virgo placements, the Hermit isn't all bad. Okay, there's a lot of positive with this card. It's a connection to spirit. It's a very wise card. This is somebody that's going within and doing a lot of soul searching. There's so much wisdom embedded in this card. So I really like the Hermit for that, but at the same time, it's somebody withdrawing their energy, pulling it back, taking a step back, not communicating. So just like I've been seeing in recent weeks, like blockages, we have communication, now we have these possible blockages happening here. It could be more of the same. The Hermit could also represent somebody that just wants to be alone for whatever reason, right? Whether they just need some time to decompress, whether they just need some time to like, all right, I need to get in Hermit mode for a minute, okay? So some of you might just be in that mode, right? And generally, Leo isn't the sign that gets into Hermit mode much, like all humans do from one time to another, but there is something here about somebody withdrawing their energy. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, my friends. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for my lovely Leos and see what's happening. Gods and spirit team, what's going on with my friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on that Page of Pentacles here? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Leo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's get into that Page of Pentacles. How's the page here? I really want to get to that Hermit as well. There's just so much intriguing energy. Thank you. Oh, okay. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Oh, someone either needs to, like, either you're going to hear it or someone's going to hear it from you. That's one thing I could pick up. We have water sign energy here, which is good. I will say elementally, this is the element that we want with all this earth here, because water and earth does represent potential and possibilities. But when I see this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, to me, this is somebody who's just letting those emotions rip, letting them fly. So for some of you, if you're not connected to a water sign, right, or having some disagreements with a water sign, when I see the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, this could be like an emotional eruption or an emotional talk where it's just very explosive, where someone's like, all right, I've held it in for too long, I'm not going to hold it in anymore. So don't be surprised in the coming days and weeks if like there's something that you've not been talking about, you've been holding back, you've been thinking about it, if it all comes bubbling to the surface, because there can be an explosive talk here on the front end, for sure. I feel like this is a very simple, straightforward type of message here on the front end. Now, for some of you, I would say watch out for issues with mother signs, or not mother signs, mother figures, okay? Because the Queen of Cups is a very motherly, maternal type of energy. It's loving and caring. So when we see it in reverse, that could speak about issues there. But once again, someone's going to hear it, okay? That's just the big vibe I'm picking up here, whether... And I don't want to say this is someone that's like super angry and bitter just yet. We'll see as we get to the back end, but the main thing I'm picking up here is like someone's held something in for so long and they're finally going to speak their piece. So the explosive talk or emotional talk is right here. Let's keep moving over to the Hanged Man. See what's happening. Interesting stuff, my friends. So let's see why the Hanged Man is here for Leo. Why is that Hanged Man here? Yeah, this is someone of two minds for sure. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse underneath the Hanged Man. This is a conundrum. This whole energy right here is a complete and total conundrum. Like somebody who's like, all right, well, should I let something go or should I hold on to it? Sometimes, like if this Four of Pentacles wasn't upright, I would say this could absolutely be something grudgy. So I could say, yeah, if there is somebody keeping tabs or watching or analyzing something, they're waiting on the energy to start freeing up. They're waiting on their moment to make an action. That could absolutely be it. So there could be somebody waiting to make a move or waiting to pounce, in so to speak, when I see this energy. But once again, this in the upright, the Four of Pentacles, is very similar to the Hanged Man, very similar to the Hermit, not moving, holding something in. When I see it in reverse, it's like, okay, well, if that's how you want it, let it go. So just how we had this emotional eruption or explosion of some sort in the front, this one is a little more reserved, but it's like, okay, all right, well, let's talk about it. It's kind of giving me that vibe as well, but it's not as volatile right here in the center. So I will say this for some of you, watch out for confusion in this time, okay, where there could be somebody that's like, all right, well, I know I need to do something, or I know I should do something, but I don't know how. Okay, there is just some sort of confusion right here in the center, straight up. So we're going to keep it moving over to the Hermit. We're just going to keep it simple. Like I said, we're not going to overanalyze it. We're not going to get too crazy with it. Let's see why the Hermit's here. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. So why is the Hermit in the mix? Thank you. Okay, yeah, somebody just needs to recover a little bit. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse. And whether this is mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever way it might be, when I see the Ten of Wands in reverse, it's somebody that needs to release something or release a burden, not necessarily an individual. The Ten of Wands is a card that is extremely burdensome and heavy, right? It's somebody that's struggling a little bit. And once again, it could be somebody that is going through difficulties, whether it is spiritual, mental, physical, like illness, things like that. So when I see it in reverse underneath the Hermit, this is a person that really just needs some time to heal. And I know that's a very much overused type of phrase when we see it in the spiritual realm these days. Everyone talks about healing, and they never really get into depth on why. But when I see it right here on the back end, that's just what I feel like. Somebody they need some time to get themselves together, and that's okay. Okay, so whether this is you, whether you're watching this because of an individual you're dealing with, they just need some time for things to quiet down. That's a big thing I'm picking up. It's not that there is no care there, or there's no I'm not picking up a lot of anger. To me, it just feels like somebody that just needs a minute. They need a little isolation to just let things lighten up, and that's okay. So let's go through and do a quick little recap here, because we have a lot happening, and you just take whatever hits for you, but there could be some interesting conversations like what we saw here on the front end. If you kindly look in the box before we get into the shadow card. Position number 1, we have the Page of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups in reverse. As I said, watch out for issues with mother figures, watch out for issues with water signs here, but the main thing I was picking up was someone just letting something build until they can't hold it in anymore. So watch out for the explosive talks or the emotional talks. Could be eruptive, where it's like, all right, I'm not holding back no more. That could be a big possibility. So you might let someone have it, someone might let you have it. But moving to the back end, kind of like a stonewall type of energy here as well. We have the Hanged Man with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, this is someone opening up a little bit here in the center, but there's also this confusion, like, all right, how do I proceed? What do I do now? It's like, all right, it could also be somebody waiting on the right time to pounce, waiting until the energy's right for something before they make a move. Getting to the back end, we have the Hermit with the 10 of Wands in reverse. This is just someone that needs some time to let this energy resolve or to heal, so to speak. There's somebody that needs to be in Hermit mode for a time so this energy could start to lighten up. Okay, so whether that's your advice, whether that's something someone else is doing, that's what we have for you this week. So please take a screenshot. Let's see what's in the shadows for you, Leo. Get a good shuffle here and see what the shadow card is for the lovely Leos. And as I say every week, I always love to pull this at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see just yet. A shadow card doesn't always have to be a challenge, right? So let's get you one. What is in the shadows for the Leos? Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It is a beautiful way to support the channel. Obviously, there's no pressure, but I got to mention it, right? Let's get you one shadow card here. What is in the shadows for my friends? Okay, thank you. Queen of Pentacles, more of this earthy energy. And I do just want to point something out here, Leo. All earthy, like 4 of the 6 main cards are earthy, and now in the shadows we also have Queen of Pentacles energy. So the Queen of Pentacles could be someone definitely focused on their money. This could be a businessman or woman when this card shows up. If it's not an earth sign connection, okay, because with all the earth and now this showing up, this is also a mother figure type of energy as well, like the Queen of Pentacles. So this card does kind of fit the theme of what we had going on within the reading itself. Generally, this is a beautiful, stable, abundant type of card. So for a lot of you, this could be really good. With the Queen of Pentacles in the shadows, if this isn't a literal person, this could be representing some really good money upgrades for a lot of you, or some material abundance, which is really nice. The one thing I will say about the Queen of Pentacles that could be a challenge with her, it's a card that could be stubborn, and at the same time, it's a card that won't let something go. Because notice, she's holding on to that pentacle real tight. This is a good energy normally, but as a shadow card, it could represent an individual that is like not willing to let something go straight up, or is just very stubborn, set in their ways. So take it however it hits for you. For a lot of you, I feel like it could be very claimable that something good, something big is coming in for you. So yeah, please screenshot that too if you'd like, Leo. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The January subscriber surprise. For the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls tarot deck. It's one of my favorite new decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what are one of your biggest goals for this year that we just entered into? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll announce the winners in my community tab at random. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again soon.